Don't give me a free pass. All right. You'll be all right, Mr. Cathcart. You'll be all right. There has never anybody had problems in my class that we couldn't get over, except for two in 19 years.
In this class, it's problems in everything else.
Oh. Well, what classes are you taking?
Well, it's English and
Tell me what classes you're taking.
English,
CPT 170.
yeah,
And what else?
biology and psychology.
Okay. First of all, your advisor should have never put you in psychology and English 101. Period. Because they're two weighted classes and they deal mainly with grammar, and you can't learn grammar while you're learning it. I mean, you can't be good at grammar while you're learning it in English 101. And the psychology teachers think they're English teachers when it comes to grading papers. So that's a bad one. I would put you in sociology, but that's water under the bridge. Now your weighted courses, your gatekeeper courses, is math and English. So you need to focus on them. Biology comes up second, then the CPT and psychology. You need to put them in priority. Okay, math and English should be your top two, then the biology, then the last two. Okay, that's the first thing. And the next thing is, you need to get a calendar out. You need to mark things. Have you done that?
Well, I write down the due dates for each of the assignments.
Well, and then just push and push and push.
Well, it's also just kind of.
It just all
I
comes together.
had some trouble in English. Like I wrote an essay over the weekend, but then I found out that I had to rewrite it because it wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, and plus my dad's just kind of urging me to do stuff.
I know how that is.
He wants me to get into this work study program, and it seems the way he wants me to do it, it seems like it'll conflict with my homework, and he wants me to also practice driving. I don't know how to drive yet.
You need to talk to him and say you got five classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you need to talk to him and say, look, I got to get this work done, or you got to talk to him, and then you got to get on to work. What's the first one? 2x plus what?
2x minus 3 over 4.
2x minus 3 over 4 is equal to what? X what? All right, now this is what you call a complex rational equation. How do you solve a complex rational equation? The first thing you do is clear the what? Clear the fractions. How do you clear the fractions in algebra and math? You multiply through by the common what? So I'm only, because I got X's all over the place, I got Y's all over the place. This is how Mr. Clauser feels right now. Everything's all over the place. So you need to find the common denominator. The common denominator of 4 and 3 is what?
12.
So I'm going to multiply through by 12 over 1. Now I want each of you to do that. Now I'm going to put a baby step in here, and I do it for all my algebras. I put a baby step in here. This 12 over 1. You need to multiply here, so I'm going to put a 12 over 1 here. I'm going to put a 12 over 1 here. I'm going to put a 12 over 1 here. And then I'm going to rewrite 2x minus 3 over 4 is equal to x over 3 plus 1 over 1. Now, what happens when you multiply through by the common denominator? What happens here? The 12 turns into a what? 3. What happens here? 12 turns into a what? And of course 12 over 1 is 12. So, your new simplified equation is what? 3 times 2x minus 3 is equal to 4x plus what? Okay?
I'm confused.
Where are you confused?
How did you? Okay, we multiply everything by 12.
12 over 1. Everybody got that? So, here we are at 3, and what are you going to do with that 3? You're going to distribute it, good. Everybody knows to distribute. So you get 6x minus 9 is equal to 4x plus 12. Now there's 2 objectives in algebra. One is to get, and these are Hubert objectives. One of them is the objective of algebra, the other one is the Hubert objective. What's the main objective of algebra? What do you want to get? X by itself. And the second objective is to try to make it positive if possible. And the way that you do that is you always move the smallest bucket. If you work on a farm, you work on my farm, and I tell you to go feed the horses, or I tell you to go feed the cows, and I say the feed is in the little building over here, and there's a 15-gallon bucket, if there was one, and there's a 5-gallon bucket of feed. Which one are you going to grab? Everybody grabs a 5-gallon bucket. Everybody's going to grab the smallest bucket because it's easier to what? It's easier to carry. And then you're going to come back and get some more feed and go back. So which one's the smallest bucket? Now which one do you care about? Do you care about the 12 or the 9, or do you care about the x's? The x's is all you care about. So which one's the smallest bucket? The 6x or the 4x? 4x. So you're going to move the 4x. Take it across the river, and it becomes a 2x, because it becomes a negative 4x, which means you have 2x. So our left side is 2x minus 9 is equal to 12. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to take the 9 over. What kind of 9? I'm going to take it across the river, and it becomes positive 9. And you get 2x is equal to what? And divide by 2, and that's your answer. Now, I always get this question. I don't care if I'm in a calculus class or if I'm in a basic math class. Somebody will always ask me, well, don't you want to change that into 10 and 1/2? And let me go ahead and tell you why I say no. 20 and 1/2. Do you have all that? Everybody got all that? Let's count how many times my paper hits the pencil. My pencil hits the paper. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. 4 times. I once asked Dr. Ruckman at Columbine, I asked him, I said, how do we know that something is simplified? He said, count the number of times your pen hits the paper. If there's ever a question. And it works. And he I don't know where he's at now, but he was 100 years old then. But anyway, now change it into a mixed number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. And then the question comes up, well, Hubert, why do we use mixed numbers?
You have a work email.
Well, that's not reduce. You rewrote it. You didn't reduce it. Because which one's more simplified? This one, Hubert. Yeah, that's right, class. Thank you for the interaction. All right? I'm a bitch today. I'm sorry. Why do we use mixed numbers? Forget math. Think of real life applications. When do we use mixed numbers? Now, all of y'all live in the real world, right? Okay? So I want y'all to think. I know you're not going to tell me because you don't talk to me. But at least think. When do you use real numbers?
Not really.
What you wearing? On your feet. Shoe sizes. What else? How'd you get here today? Drove or rode with somebody, or rode a bus, or rode a cow, or rode a horse. But you had to travel what?
Miles.
How many did you travel? Exactly 10? Exactly 2? Exactly 4? Y'all supposed to help me out here. Could have been 4.5. When do we use mixed numbers? Okay, y'all, I'll do it. We use mixed numbers with units of, there we go, we got one word out of y'all. Now, y'all don't flog her just because she's being interactive. Don't beat her up, all right? So, now there's also another rule. It's called a science rule. If it starts with real numbers, if it starts with this, it ends with this. If you start with mixed numbers, then you end with mixed numbers. That's another rule. But most of the time, unless the directions specify, you just leave it as when one has. Hope that answers one of y'all's questions, because I know somebody probably had that question. All right, what's the next one that said to do?
Y is over 5 minus 1/2 minus y over 2.
Y over 5 minus what?
1/2 times y over 2.
Parentheses, y over 2. 7 over 20.
I didn't see that last part.
That's all right. All right, now, what are you going to do here? Well, first of all, this right here, you need to simplify this. Because that's, unless you just want to multiply 3 by 4 twice, I mean by 20 twice, this needs to be reduced. So y over 5 minus y over what? Is equal to 7 over 20. Now what are we going to do? Multiply through by 20 over 1. And I'm going to skip a step, and I'm just going to go straight to the baby step. 20 over 1, 20 over 1, 20 over 1. Now what happens to the 20 over 5? What happens to the 20 over 4? And what happens to the 20s? They cancel the 1. So we have a final equation of, or reduced equation of, 4y minus 5y is equal to 7. Now, what's 4y minus 5y? And how do I get rid of multiplying by -1? There you go. And y is equal to what? Okay? Any questions? We're talking about Algebra 1, Algebra 2 material here. But you have to review on it, because some of y'all didn't know to multiply through by the common denominator, and y'all tried to do it with fractions, which is twice the word. Alright, what's the other one? Point 72y
Equals 1.302 y. I mean x. Okay, x minus 2.56.
Is that it? Okay, now you've got decimals that you need to clear, unless you need to rely on a calculator or your Rain Man and can do decimals in your head. So I'm going to clear the decimals. How do you clear a decimal? By multiplying, let's write this down. To clear decimals, you multiply through by the smallest place value. And I don't think that's the right wording, but I'll show you what I mean. What is this one to? What place value is that one to? The hundredths, right? What place value is this one to? Thousandths, and this one? Hundredths. Which one's smaller? Smallest? Thousandths. So you multiply through by 1,000. I'm going to take my handy dandy red marker, and I'm going to multiply through by 1,000. Now, what's the trick about multiplying by bases of 10? Count the number of zeros, and that's how many places you move the what? To the right when you multiply. So, let's move them. 0.72. 1, 2, 3. That turns into 720. Oops. Sorry. 720y equals 1302 minus 1, 2, 3, 2560. That should be an edge. They should have gave you something else. Did they give you something else to go with this one?
No, it was y equals 0.17.
How did y'all get this?
I said software x and y equals.
Yeah. Well, y'all didn't tell me that. So this isn't the problem? Thank y'all.
That's my fault.
Yeah, you're a loser. You're going to fail the class now.
That's all I know about that.
Okay, let me, well, you know how to clear a decimal now. Let's just go to the next problem. All right. Can I have the problem as it's written in the books?
If y equals 0.72,
If y equals 0.72,
what if y equals
y equals 1.312 x
x
2.56. Okay, I see where you got it mixed up. Okay, you can. Okay, you just skip the step. All right. All right. What he did is he put this in for y, and that's kind of important. I thought there was one that we plugged in, Chuck. I didn't know we were on the one or not. All right, and you skip to that step. All right, here we go. So it would be 0.72 is equal to 1.312x minus 2.56. It wouldn't have a y here. And the reason I stopped was because I had one equation and what? Two unknowns. You can't solve it. And I knew something was wrong. So, multiply through by 1,000. And that's going to give us 720. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't mess up. 1312 minus 2560. And now what am I going to do with the 2560? I'm going to take it over here because this is what? Positive. So I'm going to, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's positive, you leave it alone. So 2560, it's going to what? Give us 3280. Somebody help me out. Equals 1312x, and y'all divide that because I ain't Rain Man. I can't do that. What does x come out to be? 2.5. Okay? We go over it. I have two what? What are these called?
Wait, we're ignoring the other side, the equal sign?
No. What are these called?
They're called
Equations. I have two equations. I have two sets of equations. This is called a system of what?
equations.
Of equations. How do you solve a system of equations? There's several ways to solve it. You could graph them and see where they intersect. Is that what you're going to say?
No.
All right. You can graph them and see where they intersect. You can use elimination or you can use substitution. Why did I use substitution in front of the other two? Can anybody tell me? Because you have a variable that's by its what? Self and no other variables in here. So I took this guy. What's y equal to? So I took 0.72 and I plugged it in for what? Y. And that gave me this equation. All right? Now who's got a question? Where you got a question?
I'm just
Where? What step? Do you understand what I did here?
wait, that's all we have to do?
Yeah. Take, since y is equal to 0.72, take that 0.72 and plug it in this equation for y.
And then multiply it all by 1,000?
Because you want to clear the fraction. I mean, clear the decimal. Just think of it like this. Just put you a line right here. These are two different equations. But this one says that y is equal to a number. So you plug that number into y and you have one equation.
Okay, so, okay, I got 720 equals 1,312 minus 2,560.
Mm-hmm. 720. Mm-hmm.
So what do I do now?
All right. What's your main objective? You get the variable what? By itself. So what's over there with the variable? Negative 2560. Take it across and it becomes positive 2560. Now what do you do to get rid of multiplying by 1312? Divide by 1312 on both sides. Question. All right, let's see what else we got. Yep, that would help on that one. All right, here's one. Here's a business application right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try to move it over.
2.5.
Yep. All right, look at that one. It said it is hard for some people to pay off their credit card debt in a reasonable period of time because of high what? Interest rates. Let me give you a word of advice. How many credit cards do you need? One. And that for emergencies, like if your car breaks down and you got to get a new transmission or whatever, that's what a credit card's for. Get it through your bank. Okay? Get it through your bank. You don't get one. Anything that comes through the mail, throw it away. Because what they do is they give you no interest. And then as soon as you put something on it, your interest goes to 13, 14%. Yes, sir. Yes, you don't have to ask. This is college. Just go. Okay. I'm trying, people. I'm trying. Okay, so always go through your bank with a credit card. Always. You should have two cards, a debit card and a credit card. Credit card stays in your wallet for emergencies. Unless you got a real good credit card and you pay it every month. You pay it off every month. If you pay it off every month, then they can't get you. But they are a scam. Did I learn the easy way or the hard way? I learned the hard way. And I only have one credit card. All right. The interest paid on a $10,000 debt over 3 years is approximated by this. When the interest rate is X%. What is the interest rate if the interest is $1,637.60? So find that out. We'll read the question. What is X? The interest rate, right? All right, that's what you're trying to find. But what do they give you? They give you X or Y?
Y.
They give you Y. So what do you do with Y? Plug it in and solve. We are not starting on this problem until you get back. What about them chickens? They dadgum beat them dogs. I couldn't believe that. It was a good game, wasn't it? I thought it was.
So, where do we plug in for what?
Well, read the question. Read it. It tells you what to do.
So that function is the interest rate.
The interest paid on $10,000 debt over 3 years is y is equal to blah, 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 blah. When the interest rate is X percent, that's X. What is the interest rate if the interest is 1637? So if you're looking for X, what are they giving you?
Something to plug in for y.
Plug each other.
Okay.
Is everybody here today? I think everybody's here. Can y'all think of anybody that's not here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. All right, that's done. All right. Plug and chug. So, y is equal to 175.39 x minus 116.287. And then they say right here, when the interest is x, what is the interest rate if y is equal to 1637.60? That's the way you need to read it, because they're not going to give you x and ask for w, z, and k. You only have one what? Equation. You're only going to have one unknown. So either they're giving you x and y, or either they're giving you x and they want y, or they're giving you y and they want x. It's one of those two. So y is 1637.60 is equal to 175.393x minus 116.287. Now, what's the first thing we're going to do? We're not going to clear these fractions because this has got calculator written all over it. So, add what? Add 116.287. And somebody give me that number. Is equal to 175.393x divide by 175.393 divide by 175.393, and what do you get?
9.999.
I'm sorry, what?
9.9998.
And you wish. Because right now, if you was to get a credit card and you put something on it, especially a mail, in the mail credit card, it would jump up to about 16, 17%, up to 19%. They can go as far as 21. And what happens is they target college students, especially residential students like Clemson, AU, where students live on campus away from their parents. And those students will put in for those credit cards left and right. And then they go out and buy a stereo, or they buy this, or they buy that. And then they get it maxed out, and it takes them forever to pay it off because it's a trap, is what it is. So, remember what I said. Go to your bank to get a credit card. And if they don't give you one, then you don't need it. Evidently. Because I'm going to tell you something. They will get you in trouble. Alright. So that's a good problem. Alright, here is a function problem. Look at that function. Function is f of x is equal to 13x minus 39. Find a, b, and c, d. A, b, c, and d. so I wouldn't have to worry about it. So y is equal to, what is it, 13x minus 39? All right, tell me about this equation. Somebody tell me about this equation. Tell me anything you can tell me about this equation. It's an equation, yeah. It's linear. Why?
Y equals f mx minus b
mx plus b,
plus b.
and x is to the what power? First power. Parent graphs, back on one of the first set of notes we wrote. Y'all were supposed to memorize those. All right, so you know it's a line. We know that from our vertical and horizontal shifts, what is the vertical shift? Vertical shift is negative 39. So that is the what? That's the y-intercept. It's always going to be the y-intercept. This number right here, y equals mx plus b. B is equal to the y-intercept on a linear function. And you should have learned that back in Algebra 1. Okay, what else can we do? Well, we can plug in our, remember our pre-algebra chart? And I'm just going to start with negative 3 and work all the way to 3. Why did I pick 3? Because 13 is a factor of 39. How many times will 13 go into 39? 3 times. So that's why I'm starting with 3. I mean, I could start with 2, negative 2, and end with 2. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So here we go. What's negative 3 times 13? Negative 39 minus 39 is negative 70 what? 8? What's negative 2 times 13? Negative 26 minus 39 is negative 62. Is it? Is that what it is? Well, y'all need to do it. Negative what? And negative 13 minus 39, negative 26. Check it. No, negative 13 minus 39 is, thank you, I was adding. Negative 52. And 0 minus 39 is negative 39. And 13 minus 39 is negative 26. And 2 times, that'd be 26 minus 39 is negative 13. And 3 times, that's 39 minus 39 is 0. Guess what? We're done. We got all the answers to those questions that they were asking. What is the first question asked? What?
Wait, why is it always negative?
What's always negative?
Why?
And that's what this thing puts out. Why does a hay baler put out hay balers?
Wait. I'm sorry, I was confused.
That's all right.
I thought that the 1 and 2 said the same thing as negative 1 and 2.
Oh, no, that would be a parabola.
My
That would
eyes
be
were
square.
messing with me.
That's all right. Okay, what does the first say? F of 3. Well, F of 3 is a hold your pinky up way of saying x is equal to what? 3. So you're going to find y at x is equal to 3. Have we done that? Now, What is this? It's called two things. It's called the x-intercept, and it's also called the zero. What's the second question? 3. F of 3 is the zero. Or the x-intercept. And the y-intercept is so 3 and 0. 1, 2, 3. So your line, one like that. That's a bigger dot there. So you could do all of this and have all the answers you need and not even look at the problem. Because half the time, some of those problems, the way they word it, you think a Philadelphia lawyer worded it. I mean, with all these big words, you don't know which way is up. So just remember, when in doubt, do a good chart like this, graph it, and 9 times out of 10 you can find your answers. Okay, we feel good about ourselves? Hopefully we do. As I told you, this was just plugging and chugging and finding intercepts. That's what this section is on. And it's a little bit more challenging than the first set of problems we did in chapter 1. All right? We'll finish class with this one. And it says, solve for x. Solve for x. Sorry. I don't care about any kind of method. I just want you to solve for x. And of course, it's a complex equation, which means what? You got to clear the what? Clear the fractions. Is that the same one we did? Yeah. Okay, well forget it then. I don't know why they're giving you the same one. It's on page 95. Okay, forget it. Most of the time I go over test questions, so. Okay, here's one. Simple interest. I just want you to write that one down. Just write it down. A is equal to P times 1 plus RT. Just write that down. It's on page 97, example 7. The reason I'm telling you to write that down, if somebody comes up to you and say, I need to borrow $1,000, and you say, okay, you my friend, at the end of the year you need to pay it back with 4% interest. That's how you would figure it. So it'd be $40 interest, or $400, or whatever it comes out to be. 4%, no. At 4% interest on $1,000, that'd be, yeah, $40. So your friend would pay you $40 to borrow $1,000. The simple interest loan is somebody that you are friends with, or somebody in your family, or something like that. So write that down. I'm not going to hit on it too much as I am the compound interest later. We're going to really hit the compound interest. All right, we got 5 minutes. Let's solve this one. We hadn't solved one like this one. This is more, they just want you to find the formula. Find the equation. They want you to get x by itself. This is a drill of solving for a variable. That's all it is. No numbers, no anything. Just solve for a variable. You do this a lot in your your science applications.
First thing you do is clear the what? Fraction. That's the first thing you do. Anytime you're given a fraction, you clear it. Can't believe it let me copy it. Usually on the clear screen, it won't let me copy it. All right. So I'm going to multiply through by what? 3 over 1. So 3 over 1 here, 3 over 1 here. Rewrite my problem. 2x, or 2 times 2x minus b over 1 is equal to 5cx over 3. And what happens to the 3's here? They cancel. And then you get 3 times 2 here, which is what? 6 times 2x minus b is equal to 5cx. We got a problem. We got 2 x's. We got to get them together somehow, but we can't get them together because this one's in a block of ice. How do you break a block of ice? With a hammer. So 6 is the hammer. 12x minus 6b is equal to 5cx. Now what? Got to get the x's where? Together. So bring the 5cx over, and that will be 12x minus 5cx. And go ahead and bring this 6b over because you don't need it. It ain't got an x in it. Equals 6b. Oops. That looks like, I don't look good at all. Now, rule. If you have more than one variable that you're solving for, always factor it out. So what am I going to factor out here? Factor out an x. Do that. Got 1 minute. Dang it. The conspiracy. Oh well. Really? Tried it. I knew it was going to mess up. Alright, put it to clipboard. Turn the page. And then get it off the clipboard. Alright, so I'm going to factor out the x. And I factor out the x, I get x. And that's 12 minus 5c is equal to 6b. And now what do? Divide by the block of ice. Divide by what? 12 minus 5c, because that's a block of ice. It goes together. Because it's in what? Parentheses, Hubert. That's right, class. So x is equal to 6b over 12 minus 5c. And I'll leave that on hold. All right, so you got another section of homework to work on. Go ahead and be working on it. And if you have a question, what? Send it. Ask my instructor. Y'all have a good day.